All right. So, do you need to be? I love that you have a coaching business. Is it a coaching business or is it a coaching job? Did you give yourself a coaching job or are you running a business? Now, we got to understand that in the beginning, it is like a job. But after you've been building for a year, does it feel like a business? Or does it still feel like you are just doing this very demanding job? So today is Friday. So it's Badass Beautiful Fridays here at the Spiritual Business Hour. And we're going to be talking about what it means to have a great spiritual business and a beautiful life. And I think it's really important to understand that a beautiful life and a thriving coaching business can actually be one and the same. They're the same thing. And the coach who treats them like they're two separate things is probably struggling. And you're going to maybe give the business more priority and the life will be wanting. It'll be waiting while you're over there dealing with the business. So, from my perspective, the business exists to fund and express your life. So, when it starts consuming your life instead, it's kind of like the business has actually lost its purpose, which means that I know that for myself, when I experienced this, I felt like I lost my purpose. Sure, the business was functioning. I had a lot of clients. I was seeing 25 clients a week, but that's not really what I signed up for. But I was doing it because that's all I knew at the time. A business that's lost its purpose has also lost its most powerful source of fuel. So the liberation that you are looking for is not really a reward for working hard enough for long enough. It's really a design decision. So to have a beautiful working life, one that feels spacious and purposeful, that makes you feel like you are the creatrix. And that actually satisfies you so that you don't go to bed at night feeling disappointed. Okay? Going to bed at night feeling disappointed is the great recipe for a horrible night's sleep. Okay? We want your business to be built deliberately from specific choices about how you work, who you serve, what you offer, and what you refuse to tolerate any longer in the name of building something that was supposed to set you free. You did not become a coach to grind. You became a coach because you knew that there is something inside of you that feels alive when you're being of service. So, welcome to the Spiritual Business Hour. My name is Lynn Bell. I come to you every weekday at 2 o'clock and I talk to you about how to run your business from a spiritual perspective. And I'm here today with speakers from the Liberated Coach Summit. We're here with Jennifer Sifert. She is a financial leadership guide, an energy alchemist, and a CPA who helps entrepreneurs understand what's actually happening in their business financially so that they can identify the subconscious patterns influencing their decisions, reduce financial pressure, and create greater freedom, prosperity, and impact. Renée Ambarees is an international best-selling author. She's a speaker, she's a body identity mentor, and she's the creator of Yoga for Face. She helps women reconnect with their body, release stress, embody confidence, and activate their real smile. Lori McDowell is here. She's a transformational strategist, a retreat engineer, an international speaker, and author of The Reinvention Mindset. Lori helps women coaches and visionary leaders create extraordinary retreats that combine transformation, profitability, and purpose. Shmiko Cole is an award-winning leadership strategist, sought-after speaker, and founder of Get Lit. With more than 30 years of executive leadership experience, she equips entrepreneurs, executives, and visionary leaders to build influential brands, scalable businesses, and enduring legacies through purpose-driven leadership, strategic growth, and transformational execution. And we have Irina Portnova, who has a gift for turning introductions into opportunities. Wherever she goes, conversations become collaborations, collaborations become visibility, and visibility becomes business growth. Through her work as a manifestation and business coach, podcast host, and creator of virtual stages, she's helping redefine what it means to grow a business together. Thank you, ladies. Welcome. So, let's get started with these questions. I want to get you all on stage, and I know we're all muted. Everyone's wondering, like, why isn't everybody talking and chatting? Why can't we hear nothing? It's because we have to be muted because we're having some technology glitches. So, excuse me, y'all. So sorry, but we got to deal with the technology today. So, let's get into the questions, though. Ladies, what does a woman look like who has built a beautiful working life? And what specific decisions would she have made that someone grinding, okay, has not made? So, in other words, what's making her work different or her choices different? Who wants to start us off with that question? Lori, go ahead.
Yeah, when you ask that question, the first thing that popped into my mind is a woman who's got her business running really well. You don't ever hear her saying, I can't, when she doesn't want to do something. She just says, I choose not to. Because if it's important and you have your business running well, you can do anything that's important to you, anything that'll grow your business because you've made that time and you choose to only do the things that are really important. So it's almost a mindset like when you have your business going, you get to do everything that lights you up, everything that's important, everything that makes your business grow, and you get to choose not to do anything else. And I think that's a huge difference. And not only does it make the business more fun, easier, you get a lot more freedom. When you do that, it actually makes you more profitable. It's because you're doing the important stuff, the things you choose to do, as opposed to doing everything, stuff that you don't have to do, stuff you could delegate, stuff you could just not do at all. So I think that's really important that you get to choose what to do. And you're never saying you can't because it's your choice. If you want to do it, you can.
I love it. That is awesome, Lori. That was such a great response. You get to choose what you do and you don't have to say you can't. Who else wants to come in on that? Renee, would you like to talk on that to that topic?
Yeah. So the thing is you have to choose, but not choosing. But here's the thing is you can say no. I think this is the biggest topic, saying no. Let the sink in. Saying no means also you know your value. And when something is not in a line, it's just like not you don't hustle and you don't think that you have to serve everybody.
Ooh, you know what that's bringing up for me? That is beautiful because the first thing I thought is you need to say no to your own ego and your own fear. Ooh, thank you, Renee. Yes. It's not always about saying no to other people. It's sometimes about saying no to when you want to step over your own boundaries, when you want to do something that's out of alignment with who you truly are. My ego, that's where my ego lives. So, yes, Shmiko, please.
You know what? For the first thing that came to my mind was literally going into growth. You talked about growth, growth without margin. I mean, think about that out loud. Eventually, it becomes burnout. And I think a lot of people see that. You mentioned earlier about the grind. I think when we get out of the grind, we forget that we still need to grow. And then that sustainable growth actually creates the lasting impact. It creates the momentum. It creates the next thing. So we get a chance to, as you mentioned earlier, just see ourselves in that and what you've come out of. And more importantly, what your pattern or rinse and repeating so that you can, surround yourself with women like this that will uplift you, help you impact, and more importantly, see the vision beyond your purpose, your mission, and your vision.
That was yes. Right on. One of the things I love about this panel is that the wisdom is deep. It's coming from the heart. This is not the first time you've thought about this stuff, ladies. It's what you've been living. It's coming from real lived experience. And what a blessing you all are to this show. And what a blessing you all are to the Liberated Coach Summit. All of the speakers here are on the summit. There are 20 speakers altogether on the summit, and each speaker is offering an interview, and each speaker is offering a free gift. So if you join the summit, then you would be able to access these women on a deeper level and also move even closer by taking their gifts, using their gifts, and learning more from them. So thank you all so much for being here. So from a financial perspective, what does a coaching business that funds a beautiful life actually look like in numbers? And what is kind of like the minimum that a solo woman might need to be able to fund a life that is beautiful? Jennifer.
Did you? That's pretty specific to me, that question. Being a financial leadership guide and having a CPA background, and I've studied hundreds of different entrepreneurs' books, and I've witnessed so many entrepreneurs not even pay themselves. Don't take any money out of the company, or don't organize it in a logical, planned way so that you can grow wealth and pay less taxes and all that kind of stuff. And that's, I help people do that from behind the 8 ball for 20 years usually. And now I'm helping you to be present, to get current with your business so that you can really create the lifestyle that you want. And going back to choices, and are you having a demanding job, or is this a business? This is why you became an entrepreneur. When you're an entrepreneur, you have so much more choice and freedom and potential to grow your business in any direction that you want. When you're an employee, you have pretty limited choice, and you have to go along with their 3% raises. And what do? They do like reviews on you and tell you you're not doing this good and you're not doing that good and all that kind of stuff. Like, this is your business and you've created it. I was in a room the other day. If you want to call yourself a professional and you're not a hobbyist, $10,000 a month is what you need to make. With inflation, with the price of gas, with everything, with the cost of rent. I live in one of the most expensive places in the world, and $10,000 that's the minimum, I would say, where I live. And that's being a professional at what you do, a professional coach. I'll pass it back to you, Crystal.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I was fumbling with my mute button.
It's okay.
But that was so apt, so perfect, because so often I meet women coaches and they are afraid to claim their financial inheritance, their divine inheritance. And I find that you naming it from your perspective as a as a professional who works with money, but also as a woman. And you told the truth. I live in one of the most expensive cities in the world, and it costs to do that, right? Thank you, Jennifer, very much. Does anybody else want to speak to this? Yes, Shmiko, please.
I definitely want to echo what Jennifer mentioned, but I also want to put in the perspective of the greatest ROI isn't just revenue. Let's go there real fast here. Just remember, it's getting your life back. I think people forget that when they go into business because they had a vision and a mission. And then they start to become very overwhelmed with all of the things that come with it. So think about building a business that works because of systems you created, not because of the hours that you're sacrificing. What we've learned in the wisdom space. So let's talk about people that have been in business that have reached that plus dollar amount that you spoke of, and let's kind of triple X that monthly. And what we've learned in that process is to pass on, not to take on more ourselves, to generate more for the businesses that we're working with and the people that we're coaching. And that allows us to actually leverage not just our information, our wisdom, what we've learned over the years, but it also brings it back to now you're putting value to the time that you're putting in. So again, ROI is not really the driver. In some spaces is the best way to describe it. And I'll go to ROI, meaning your return on investment is the time that you're putting in. And the more time you put in and the systems you put in place, the better you can actually elevate yourself and take your company to the next level. You want to reach 7 figures. You want to be a coach that is actually coaching the coaches, or a mentor that is a mentor to the coaches. Remind yourself of your value, and not just your value, but also the space that you can position yourself. So remember, ROI is definitely a driver there, but when you're nurturing relationships, when you've built time over time, that wisdom of your expertise, people will see that value of what you do and how you coach, and they will bring people just like this to the summit, to these communities, and more importantly, to the women that can help you along your journey to reach the goals that you've set for you, your company, and your team.
Ooh, ooh, girl, you got me over here. I am like saying hallelujah. I am like raising that up. Preach, sister, preach. Because that is, I am so spiritual, and I know that Shmiko is, everybody on here has a spiritual, heart-led business. We all lead from our heart. But what I love about these women here is not all just talk. It's not all just, and it's not all just woo-woo. There is a reality that we are living in, and we believe that your success needs to be needs to have financial truth behind it, financial reality behind it. It's not enough just to be good-hearted. You also deserve to have a financial reward and the time, Shmiko's, the time back to be creative. Absolutely gorgeous. Thank you all for what you're bringing in. Renee, would you like to share on this financial part? Please go ahead.
I want to point out, so what is money? What is money is energy. Okay, so these are numbers, but how are you getting the numbers? And this is what I love, what you said before. It's, we can choose our own rhythm. And when we choose our own rhythm, we can create more energy. That makes then more money, right? In my calculation. If you have more energy because you're following your rules and you're following your rhythm, and you learn to say no, it can come easily. This is the magic behind the numbers. And this is why everything is getting together. Take a look at that.
I love it. I love that. And I love the rhythm, bringing in the rhythm on that. That is awesome. Even our natural biorhythms, and we get to set our rhythms. Absolutely gorgeous. Irina, please.
Renée just inspired me. You know what, the way, because I also love to deal with manifestation, the way I look at it, a lot of times people are going with what is missing. What is missing? And a lot of coaches and healers are actually focusing more on what is not working. But the way I like to do about it, I just say, how can you make more of what you want? So I basically bring it to another spectrum. Rather than focus on what is missing, just to say, what can I create? How can I create more money in my bank account? And again, as Renée said, money is energy, and we can all tap to create more of that energy as we become more creative, as we are not quitting on ourselves, as we are doing different things in order to generate that money. Because if there is a problem, there is always the solution. But a lot of times we are too focused on what's missing.
I love it. Yes, indeed. That shift in focus is so very, very important. Thank you. So, um, what does a woman's body tell you about whether she is living a beautiful working life or surviving a demanding one? Right? What does it look like? What does her body look like? Renée, look at her. She can't even wait. Go.
No, I can't wait, because this is what I see all over. You can see it in the face. It's written in your face. Really. It's just like when the brownie lines are coming, when the six-pack is coming. So this is why you are hustling and you're trying really hard, and you are not connected to your body as your wisdom specific as women. It's written in your face, really. God, it's written in your face. No Botox on surgery is just like helping you with that. Nope.
Absolutely. That is really, really true. Does anybody else? Shmiko, please.
So outside of the external beauty is where I want to go. And I want to hit a couple of points that you mentioned about woo-woo. Somebody that's been in corporate and retail management, been in spaces of privacy and things like that. I hear that word more often than not. But they also, even though they say the word, they also kind of flip on the other side. And so what does that look like? From the outside, it could be, yes, it'll wear on your face, it'll wear on your body, it could be inflammation, it could be those things. But internally, what does that look like? It means that we stopped managing every task and we started leading our business in a space that you actually launched to generate momentum and not months of recovery. And what we find is when people launch things, they have all this energy, they have this dopamine high, they have this excitement. And then what happens is the reality of everything starts to wear, as eloquently put, on our face or in our way of we're working or what you're thinking, and more importantly, how you're moving through your tasks daily with your clients and your teams, just to make sure that you can get on the other side. So build something that's going to actually give you energy and not something that you actually have to recover from months later.
Ooh, that was some wisdom right there. I ain't even gonna lie. That was so deep, so wise. That gorgeous. Jennifer, please.
So I have a nutritionist and I have a trainer, and I've also not had a nutritionist and I've not had a trainer and run businesses or that type of thing. And if we're not feeding our bodies the food that will give us the energy to do our life mission, if we're not exercising regularly, or if we're not like eating, for me, I'm hungry right now. I had my lunch and I've been hungry all day. And so I know that I didn't eat enough yesterday and I'm hungry today, right? I know that if I am not managing my energy, my food, my health, and my nutrition, the normal work of what I love to do gets harder on me, right? So I don't think that if we really want to do what we really love to do, we have to be healthy, we have to be wealthy, and we have to be in great relationships. And that's the other thing that I'm noticing. It's like we want to be in the proximity of people like this room. Because when somebody is in the dimension of prosperity and lives in that paradigm of prosperity, you just being close to them helps you to be in that dimension. But when you're hanging around people who are in the dimension of scarcity, it's easy to be in the dimension of scarcity. So we really need to be very conscious about how our health affects our energy levels and our ability to like perform the way we want to perform, and also have the clarity, like food gives you clarity to your dreams or you're aligning with, and money helps us to make that impact, and those relationships with the right people, the people who you want to collaborate with, the people who lift you up, that's how we grow as well, our business. I'll pass it back to you, Crystal.
Yeah.
Crystal.
Yeah. That health thing, it's making me think about how we suppress things and it gets stuck in our bodies, and whether it's fear or doubt, old angry emotions, resentments get bottled up and stuffed down. I had I'm going to share this with you all, but I had uterine fibroids from the time I was, first of all, I got my period when I was 8 years old, had a heavy flow period at the age of 8. And by the time I was 22 years old, I had a uterus full of fibroids. I've had 3 myomectomy procedures to remove the fibroids from my uterine walls. And then finally, ultimately, I had to have a hysterectomy in 2015. But there were months and months of trying holistic practices and internal work, and it's really, I'm very grateful to those fibroids because they were energetic, they were physical representations of the deeply rooted anxiety and fear, doubt, hatred, self-loathing that I experienced. They were outpictured and they showed up at those tumors. And my job as a healer, as a coach, was to work on myself, to get really, really clear about what exactly was going on in my mind on a subconscious level, on a conscious level, to look at my choices, but also to look at my lineage, to see what I was carrying forth from uh, my own mother, my grandmother, my family. When it comes to the business, that shows up in the body as well. Those beliefs around money, around what you deserve as an individual because of how you look, who you are, what you've done in your past, all that is carried and it's deposited into the body. And that's what this is bringing up for me to just kind of share with you all as well. Yeah. So let me get into another question, my friends. What is the most common thing that women coaches are tolerating in their businesses right now that is making their working lives genuinely ugly? And why do they keep tolerating it? What are we tolerating that's ugly? And why are we continuing to tolerate it? All right, let's get Lori and then we'll get to you, Shmiko. Lori, please.
Yeah, I love this question. And when I first started my business, I was actually part of this group. And it's almost like women coaches start this business and then they hear all the statistics, how most coaches make less than 40,000 a year. And I think they tolerate those statistics and they get in like the struggling coach mindset. And they hang around with a bunch of other struggling coaches and they complain about it and they talk about how, oh, I paid for this and they told me I was going to make this money and I'm not doing it. And it's like it's an area of blame. And it's like they're tolerating letting their business be people from the outside, whether it's statistics or other people, tell them how to run their business instead of coming from the inside and saying, I don't want to hang around a bunch of other struggling people. I want to be successful and lift those people up, and I'm going to do it my way. So they're actually tolerating like the fact that a lot of coaches struggle, and I'm just going to be part of it, and don't think about the fact that, that's an option, that's a choice. And money, the great thing about having your own business is money's unlimited. If you want to do something, all you have to do is make more money. It's not like a job where there's a budget. You can just make more money, and then you can spend more money. And like I said, they're tolerating letting somebody else tell them that coaching's not profitable, and they buy into that. Oh, I'm a struggling coach and my life is hard, and I'm going to complain, and I'm going to work really hard and not make money. So back to
Wow,
you.
that was really so insightful. Thank you, Lori. Absolutely. I had a mentor, and she used to say, if you're in my container, you need to get off the struggle bus. I love that. Shmiko, please go ahead.
I love that. And to tap off of what Lori said, it is your surrounding. Although I didn't go through the coaching respect when I first became an entrepreneur, I went a different route. I learned very early on who to pick and choose as a mentor and who I'm going to choose as a mentee. I also was very selective and very intentional about who I was learning from, because that learning was actually being passed on to those that I was supporting along the journey. So I think when we start to look at what does that look like? I can speak from Minnie's perspective. I've been the first woman in some of my programs. I've been the first Black woman in many of my programs. I've sat at the table because most of the industries I came from were male dominating. So I didn't have a lot of experience learning from other women. And so when I found those clusters of beautiful souls and beautiful spirits, the first thing that I did was I said, I'm going to launch a business. I'm going to build my business. And I want to build it so I'm not breaking spirits and I'm not breaking souls along the journey, because again, that is part of my concept of magnifying wealth and being a number 8 in the zodiac of numbers. So what it does is it allowed me to see along my journey that as I started to grow, that I can bring people along the way. I stopped hanging out with people that had the scarcity mindset, 14 years ago, and that elevated me right away. And when we start to talk about scarcity, it doesn't mean that it is a different tier of people. What it means is this the level of education and knowledge, and more importantly, wisdom. We all have the ability to go out and join summits and join groups and join communities that can help us along our journey with whatever that mindset could be. And I'm going to give it to you from a different perspective. When we came out of COVID, it affected a lot of mental health. It affected a lot of businesses. It affected a lot of growth in education, entrepreneurship. And we all went to school in different capacities to be something bigger than what our parents wanted us to be. And what we learned along that way is we needed coaches and we needed mentors. The goal is to grow and find people that are actually achieving, as many has said, that are what we want to achieve, and then learn and then come back and teach others. Exactly what Crystal Lynn is doing here. Exactly what these beautiful spirits are doing here. Remember that when you're attaching yourself to someone, it should be something that's a part of your next level, your next journey, your next session, your next season, whatever you choose to call it.
Ooh-wee. Yes, indeed. Yes, please. And Renée, please go ahead. That was gorgeous, Shmiko. Absolutely on fire. I want to learn from these women, right?
So that was gold. That was gold. But I want to point out environment is really a key thing we underestimate. Whatever you want to accomplish, you really have, and this is also, you have to learn to say no. No to people. Because being in a room, you learn without words. Let this sink in, please. Environment is key. And you can go the hard way or not. And I tried a lot. So I was in Florida, I was on the words of New. I was walking the richest streets. I'm in the Dominican, so I know the feeling when you are back in nature, but also what it is when you are just like going in the woods where the people have no money. So paying attention and feeling what the shifts are doing in your body, that is key. And this is why body wisdom is so important to train. And by the way, saying no, there I have 4 magic moves. We are talking maybe also about our gifts. So the 4 magic moves are helping you to say no in the right things. You can take your body on the journey, but environment is key. Thank you for pointing this out.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Renee. Thank you. Irina, please go ahead.
I love what everybody's sharing. The way I look at it, what everybody has to start tolerating is the excuses. I feel that excuses are killing more income than anything else and killing more dreams, because the excuses that there are no clients who are buying from me, the excuses I don't know enough so I can charge the prices that I want, the excuses that I enrolled in another course and it didn't create the results. So what I invite everyone to do is bring the responsibility to yourself. Stop tolerating excuses for anything what we are creating, because whatever results we have right now, we created them. And once we start bringing that responsibility to ourselves and say, okay, what I can do differently in order to start having different results, that's where everything shifts.
Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous, ladies. I got to thank you. I have to thank you all. My friend Jennifer she said, Crystalline, I feel myself being healed from these sessions, like these spiritual business hour sessions. We get together with all these women and everybody is like bringing all this wisdom. I can feel myself being shifted. I can feel myself being shifted. If you are watching this, and please in the comments put you can feel the shift, put hashtag live, hashtag replay. But the fact is, the gold that is being spoken by these women is absolutely incredible. And just to remind everyone, these are all speakers at the Liberated Coach Summit. You can come and join us and learn more, get closer to these speakers, because these are your earth guides. You have your spirit guides, but your spirit guides work through women like Shmiko, like Jennifer, like Renee, like Irina, like Lori, like Crystal Lynn. Your spirit guides work through us so that we can bring you the wisdom that you need and you can excel in the work that you want to do. So take advantage, join the Liberated Coach Summit. There are at least 12 other speakers on the summit that you can join and learn from as well. All right, I've got another question for you, ladies. And actually, we'll make this the last question, and then we'll talk about your gifts that you're offering, and then people can learn how they can learn more about you through the summit. If a coach is listening to this right now and she recognizes that her business has something or has become something that she survives rather than something that thrives her, what is the single most beautiful decision she could make today to begin changing that? What's a beautiful decision she can make today? Jennifer, go ahead.
I was just thinking about this before you asked the question. Click the link on the summit, because as Irina said, stop making excuses. Take your power back. Like, that's another way of saying being responsible. Take your power back. And the excuse of I don't have time, there is actually no excuse. There's 2 more free days on the summit. But if you paid $27, which is about what it costs to have a hamburger and fries nowadays, you would get the summit until August 8th. And then that way you can digest, experience who you're resonating. Because Dame Shmiko said, she was very selective about who she works with. Well, so am I. And so as everyone on this call, we decide who we're going to work with because we want the best. And so our mentors are of the highest quality and integrity and frequency. They taught us. We're teaching it now, and you're choosing us, and you can teach it. So, you know, there's so much gold, like Renée said, on these calls. We're teaching all the time. We're teaching all the time. There's no excuses. Scarcity is an old program. We are deciding on, you know, we've already decided we're going to live in the prosperity paradigm. And if things come up and we need to transform them and heal them, we're going to go to the coach who can help us get it done. So we're not going to stay stuck for very long. We're deciding that it's not even there is no excuse to stay stuck anymore. Is that right, Crystalline? Is there no excuse to stay stuck anymore?
There is no excuse to stay stuck anymore. We are here. This summit, this thing, this stuff we're doing here is free. You know, we're putting out gold for free. The only excuse is the limitation that you put on yourself. That's the only limitations that exist. Shmiko, please.
Oh, I love this question. Thank you for that, Jennifer, as well. Think about it this way. Business is not a business. Being busy is not a business strategy. Think about that. Most people, and a few of the ladies said this earlier, where your calendar is full and I have 12 clients and I have this and I have that. But if you're not effective, it won't really get you over the threshold. And more importantly, when you start to be selective about who you're working with, what you're going to find is you're going to stop managing little tasks and all those type of things. And you're actually going to lead your business. You're going to lead your coaching business. For someone that has built systems at such a high level for very big box companies and names that we all know, and we won't go into that. What I learned in systems and processes, the easier that you can make your life as a coach, as a business owner, as whatever industry you choose to be in. Coaches and mentors are very, very selective, again, because they've been down that road. They've done that journey. And more importantly, they didn't make busy a business. They didn't make busy more important than actually giving impact and quality value and services to you as a client. So just remember that whatever coach, whatever consultant, whatever industry you're in, just remember when you're coming to summits like this, we're pouring into you what we've learned. And for me, systems and processes have allowed me to see sustainable companies go into the millions and billions. And when you can bring that back to a community, like all of us as coaches or consultants in our respective industries, what we've learned through our life lessons, through our business lessons, we're actually helping you avoid those same stumbling blocks. So again, busy is not a business strategy. Just remember in your mind that if you're choosing a coach, when you're coming into these summits, when you're listening to us intentionally, know that we have a select group of people that are actually guiding you towards taking that vision and making it reality.
Ooh wee. How many times have I said ooh wee? So many times. Okay, so many times. I can't help it. All right, Lori, go ahead. Lori, go ahead. Oops, I just did the wrong thing. Sorry, Lori. No, Lori just disappeared. Okay, she just disappeared herself. Renee, will you please go ahead? Thank you.
Yeah, I was just trying to get the nuggets together. So, Shmiko said, your question was how we are understanding when someone is at this point. So, and one thing, when you are keeping yourself busy is one thing, and you ask for an advice. So my advice, when you feel like you have to accomplish and you have to give over and over and you're in this hustling, you have to take a day off and go to the beach or for a walk or whatever and do nothing. That you are able to start to feel that you can open your eyes and see other things. I mean, this year is the best container ever. I was just making a video and I was sending it out, just like everybody has really to join, because it's so much gold. Even like the gifts we're going to talk about are insane, and the $27 also. But here, if you are feeling that you are hustling and you are not in control, you need a day off. First, you need a day off. That's my first advice.
I love it. I absolutely love it. You need a day off. Yes, yes. Lori, are you ready to rock and roll now? Okay, cool.
I am ready. I don't know what happened there, that I just disappeared. So yeah, so what I would say, if you're in that place where your business is struggling, you feel like you're running a job, the first thing I would do is really make sure you're running your business. Go back to your why, your purpose, and who you are, and make sure you're not trying to do someone else's business, because so many of us get stuck where we're doing what we heard this coach did or that coach did or this person did. And we forget that it's our business and it has to match our purpose and our why. And then once you do that, set your intention. Look at the things that are the most valuable and do those. And everything else, either delegate or just don't do it. And when you do that, you feel, you build momentum and things just start going well, and your business is going to grow and you're going to enjoy it and you're going to get freedom. And then you can add those other things back in. But when you do those high value things that help you through your business, making sure it's what lights you up, it's what your purpose and your why is all about, it's going to be fun and it's going to go easy and it's going to become profitable. Yet if you're stuck trying to run someone else's business or what you think you're supposed to do, you're going to struggle with it and it's going to feel like a job.
Yes, Lori, absolutely. I love this. Make sure you run your business and your own business. What I was thinking is make sure that you're running your own business that is from your soul and not from your ego, because that ego is like an intruder in your entire being. And your ego will have you running its business. It'll be telling you you're not working hard enough, you're not showing up the right way, your hair don't look right. It'll tell you all sorts of things that are not true. So in addition to, not following everybody else's advice randomly, but making sure that, the voice inside your head, you're listening to the one voice that is rooted in your truth. I want to make sure, Irina, would you like to come in on this and share that one decision also?
Yeah, I think the decision is to really remember, right, that it's not only to work hard, but actually to tap and realize why did we do that, right? Because the business has to have the fun factor to that, because that's why we started, because we want to use our creativity. We want to be fulfilled in what we are doing. And if something doesn't work, rather than getting upset and disappointed, stay curious. Like I come back to that curiosity because this is the neutral emotion that is going to keep us going, even if we do not see the results. And another great point is even looking at success of the people I'm working with, the coaches who are multimillionaires, and it's not always just success. Sometimes they also plunge. Sometimes they also have to take their power back and say, okay, what can I do differently? If something did not work out the way that they desired, they just ask themselves, what can I do differently to see different results? And this is the phrase that I invite everybody to start using. If something doesn't work for you, just ask yourself, what can I do differently in order to see different results?
Beautiful, Irina. Thank you. So insightful. Does anybody else want to come in on this question one more time before we wrap up? Anything else you want to follow up with? All right. So what I'd like for us to do right now, the Liberated Coach Summit, there are 2 more days, today and tomorrow. It ends tomorrow at midnight. All right. Saturday at midnight Pacific time. And these speakers are there, okay, including myself, and there are several other speakers that are on the summit, and I want to invite you to join for free. You think, oh, Crystalline, I can't listen to 12 or 18 speakers in 2 days. No, you cannot. You will want to invest in the $27 upgrade, which will allow you to keep the access until August 8th. And keep in mind, it's the speakers, their interview, and their gift that they are offering you to help you go to the next level, to take the next step. These women, and there are a few men as well, they know what your business needs so that you can get seen, you can get paid, and you can work in a way that is beautiful and harmonious with your authentic self, not like a worker bee or a drone. You can be more like the queen bee. All right. Who would like to share their gift from the summit with our audience? Who wants to share first? Go ahead, Shmiko.
So for me, what I chose to do was a journal. I enjoy seeing a progress with people. That progress meaning what is your daily activity, and that's going to help you grow and scale your business. So I created a 90-day journal for people to reflect basically what they do intentionally daily, how they can actually grow, and more importantly, just seeing it from the eyes of someone that's built multiple seven-figure companies. So in that journal, you basically get a legacy that helps people to understand what's going to outlive you, what can you pass along, and more importantly, what you're doing in your time in your space that you can actually pass along, not just to your team, but people that you're coaching and you're consulting. Because again, as we've mentioned multiple times today, you are your circle, you are the people around you, you are the individuals that are helping you grow. And if you can eat, think, and move like they do, as all of these beautiful ladies have told you, it shows on your face, it shows in your body, it shows in your action, it shows in your deliverable, it shows in your ROIs, and more importantly, it shows on how you take care of yourself. So that journal is really going to help people kind of position themselves. And if I can give just a final thought of today, the goal isn't simply to launch successfully. Let's just remember, business coaching doesn't matter what industry. I've been in 4 different industries: entertainment, I've been in, the DIY world, I've been in the big box world, corporate America. The goal is to build a business that allows you to continue growing and showing up with energy, creativity, and the purpose long after the launch is over. Everybody here has said this up to you over and over again eloquently today. Sustainable income should never require unsustainable living. Take care of yourself, you'll take care of others. The 90-day journal actually helps you to start realizing where you're missing that. And then success is not measured by how exhausted you are or when your launch ends. Let's just remember, every time we wake up and we have an idea, that's a launch. Anytime you move it from an idea into reality, you actually have created something that other people can learn from. It is measured by whether you have built something you can confidently repeat, refine, and scale. And I hope that you all understand that every gift that's given to you today is not only a gift, it is a gift that keeps giving. So make sure you're telling other people about this summit.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Shmiko. That was wonderful. I love it. I love it. Who now wants to share? All right, Lori, go ahead.
Sure. So my business is Done For You retreats, and I love retreats because they give you fun, they give you adventure, they give you purpose, impact, transformation, and income. So what my gift for everyone is it's a little ebook, and it's called Retreats Done Right: Your Path to 100K with Heart. And this can be applied to a retreat, but it really can apply to any aspect of your business. But it's a way to basically make impact, make income, and give back to the world at the same time. It's got tips, it's got things you need to consider. It's got ways where you're transforming yourself and your clients. So every event that you do as a coach should not just be for your clients, it should be growing you as well. And this ebook tells you how to do it through retreats, but like I said, everything in it could actually be applied to other parts of your business as well. And if you do decide to do a retreat, it kind of has ways you can make $100,000 from one, 5 to 7 day event if you do it the right way, and if you're thinking about it as a way to actually grow your business.
Excellent. Beautiful, Lori. Thank you. I love the idea of doing retreats. I think it's so powerful. And also it's a lot of fun. So being able to learn from Lori is really quite a blessing. Jennifer.
And Lori, you reminded me I have to download your gift. Because I am in the process of building a high-end luxury retreat space here in Vancouver, BC, Canada. It's also going to be my dream home as well. So my gift is Get Current. And I love presence, okay? When you're present, you have power and you can really direct your purpose into the world. And my gift is a quiz called Get Current, and it gives you the 9 hidden signs that you're under financial pressure, which is limiting your freedom, limiting your impact and your profit. So in 1 minute, you can see the degree of pressure financially you're under. It's just very simple, basic questions, and all you have to do is be truthful with it. And when you get truthful with a quiz like this, you're taking a step. You're actually taking a very powerful step to decide, to commit, to anchor a new way of being, and that is being wealthy, healthy, profitable, current, and allowing yourself to be the director, the orchestrator, the conductor, the driver of your business. And when you know the financial aspect of your business, including the client aspect, including the program aspect, including all the other aspects of the business, with clarity, you have a lot of power.
I love that, Jennifer. That is absolutely wonderful. And I took the quiz. I did the assessment. And boy, it was eye-opening and good. I needed to have my eyes opened. So I'm looking forward to the next step with Jennifer as well.
Opening your eyes.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Opening your eyes. Renee has mentioned it lots of times, seeing, having clarity. It's such an important part of running a business. You can do so much when you're awake and aware.
3 cheers to Zaina for muting my mic when I did not realize I needed to be muted. Okay, she is on her job, right on. Okay. All right, who else wants to share about their gift? All right. Oh, Irina, your little hand was fading. I see you. Go right ahead.
All right. I love how we are all synergetically build the quizzes. So my quiz is called Discover Your Missing Link to Client Flow, because when sometimes it feels like we are doing everything, how come we are not attracting the clients? That's exactly the quiz that is going to discover that missing link, because if something doesn't work, that means something is missing. And that quiz is actually going to help you to discover in 64 seconds what is your client flow archetype and the one missing link that you would be able to shift, because it's going to show you what exactly you can do now in order to just bridge whatever is missing, link it together, and start really attracting the clients that are flowing consistently to you.
That is a wonderful gift. And assessments are really important. We all had those of us who had the instinct to do assessments. It's because we understand the importance of looking at yourself and being able to say, oh, this is me. An assessment holds up a mirror to you of what your energy is. So I love a great assessment. Thank you so much. Now, Renee, would you like to share about your gift?
Yes. So the assessments here are incredible. So, and you have all different styles, how you can really understand where you have to shift the needle. But now I'm coming in the game. So, and this is work. And to take your body on the journey, because when someone is kicking your ass and is maybe talking about something that's triggering you, you will feel it in your body system. And when it comes to your eyes can lie, they can shut down. So I'm here with my 4 magic moves. It's a video course, it's a training to help you get out of stuck situations and get your body on the journey, that you find the next solution, that the next door is opening up. So because that's easy. And by the way, I'm here to start a revolution, and it's a smile revolution, and it's starting in your face. So you will learn to open your eyes. You will learn to come in the acceptance and take your body on the journey, that you don't have the neck pain. I will guide you through setting boundaries, really, and learning saying no. We heard about this is important. And then your smile is opening closed doors. It's the key to heaven, but you have to train them. every single day. So this is why I'm here. The 4 magics, the guidance.
Beautiful, Renee. Thank you so much. And as we're wrapping up here, I just want to say that I also have an assessment for you all. I have the 5 Shackles quiz because the Liberated Coach Summit is based on 5 shackles that are holding women coaches back, keeping them invisible, overworked, and underpaid. So those 5 shackles are the mind, the business, time, money, and pleasure. So there's shackles around those 5 things. Those things are keeping you underpaid, overworked, and invisible. So I have an assessment for you, the 5 shackles quiz, that will help you understand exactly how those shackles are showing up in your life, in your business, so that you can break free, because you need to have awareness so that you can break free and step into the next level. All right, you can access all of our gifts, all of our assessments, and the other assessments of the other speakers at the Liberated Coach Summit. There is a link in the comments and in the caption here for this video. I want to say thank you to all of our speakers today here at the Spiritual Business Hour. And, I have to say that today is the last Spiritual Business Hour where we will be doing this Liberated Coach Summit format. Next week, we go back to our regular format, which pretty much features me by myself, and I have a couple of guests each week. So do make sure that you tune in. We're still going to be going live Monday through Friday at 2:00 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time or Pacific Time. And you're still invited to attend. But I have to say, I'm going to miss my girls. I'm going to miss my friends. It has been a pleasure doing this with you all here, ladies. So thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I know that my audience is going to miss you too. But here's something that I'm going to say. Everybody that you see here today and everybody that you've seen over the last 3 weeks, they are dear to my heart. And I will be inviting them back again for some one-on-one time with me and you, my lovely audience. But also, if there's a speaker that you particularly loved, send me a message and let me know. And I will make sure that I bring them back and do something special with them for you. All right? All right, everyone. So we're going to go ahead and sign off. If you all want to unmute and say your goodbyes, I know it's going to be an echo fest, but that's okay. That's just putting us out.
Yay!
All right, go out and be powerful. Go be powerful.
Have a great
All right,
day,
everyone.
everyone.
All right, let me end the live stream here.